Thank you all for coming here today. We're here for a very good reason. After decades and decades and decades of not putting the resources that we should have been putting into the East Side, today that changes. Not only will we be providing $40 million this evening after the vote of the Community Benefits Agreement for the East Side, there will be an additional $40 million that we're going to be putting into countywide efforts for the rest of the city. This is a huge achievement, and it could not have been done without the work of our chairman, Raul Arias, who's a good friend, and the other committee members on the Community Benefits Agreement Special Committee. I do want to recognize that we have Dr. Councilmember Rahman Johnson, we have Reggie Gaffney Jr., obviously we have Raul as well, and the group that we have assembled here today and the group that we assembled for the Community Benefits Agreement Special Committee came with different perspectives, different alignments, different beliefs in what we can do, and we all came together with a really good product. Both sides of the aisle came together to make sure that we are putting the resources necessary out east. And after this past week, when we saw the great work that is done in that community with the new opening of the Deb store, that's only the beginning. And the work that we're about to put into tonight will have a cascading effect for the next 100 years in that community, and I'm incredibly excited for it. So a few folks I want to thank. The Together Eastside Coalition representatives, Travis Williams and David Garfunkel with Lip Jacks, Suzanne Piggott, President and CEO of Historic Eastside Community Development Corporation, Dana Miller, business owner and neighbor, Ariane Rudolph, community advocate, and Daniel Nunn, who was a partner at Nelson Mullins, who was an attorney working on this. We also, of course, need to be thanking the Jaguars. Mark Lamping, the Jaguars organization, has been fantastic. The Chamber of Commerce, Sulzbacher, Civic Council, Changing Homelessness, Goodwill, Jacks USA, Kids Hope Alliance, Ability Housing, and several community organizations that came around this deal, pushing and advocating, and we've come to a great place. I now want to recognize our chairman of the special committee and my good friend, Raul Arias.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I couldn't, put this in better words like Councilmember Peluso just said, but honestly, what we're missing here is the entire community of Jacksonville. Is who I want to thank. Several neighbors, business owners from the East Side came out in support of this. A lot of members from the community came out, and so we just want to thank everybody for giving us their input, and it's because of them that we're able to get to this point we're at right now. Initially, when we first had this CBA conversation, we were looking at roughly $56 million for the parks, and that was it. Then we were tasked to try to fully fund this, and we got to the point where, through several debates and several, meetings and conversations, we got to that point where we fully funded it, and now we're getting the matching dollars from the Jaguars, so $150 million plus $150 million. We're looking at over $300 million towards the city of Jacksonville. That is, we're definitely setting the bar as high as possible. I think it was Buffalo, closest one at $90 million prior to us, so. Good luck to any other cities out there because we set the bar very high right now.
True. Go forward.
Debate, conversations, sometimes while they're not the best and people are uneasy about it, it leads to a great product. We had a good product from the beginning, but we knew we could make this good product even better, and that's exactly what we have here tonight, and we're going to vote on this today. So it's thanks to all the community input and really the people behind me is really what we got to thank. So I'm excited about this, and I'm proud to be here serving in this momentous occasion. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you both so much. Thank you so much for your leadership on this. We really could not have done it without a really steady hand, and I genuinely appreciate your candor and your willingness to do this work, because we were not guaranteed to get all the way there, and we worked through it. We really did. I now want to bring up Travis Williams, who is COO of Lip Jacks.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm Travis Williams with Lip Jacks. This is a really, really exciting moment. The rain is coming down, but we had rain at an event last week, the Deb store opening, and I think we have another symbolic opportunity that we're a blessed people, we're a blessed city, we have an amazing council, and I think rain can symbolize the blessing that will happen tonight as this committee moves forward with approving the CBA. Councilman Peluso mentioned the Deb store opening last week, and it really was an opportunity for the Eastside community to showcase the quality and the excellence with which we plan to invest in our neighborhood. And these dollars will help us continue investing very heavily into our neighborhood. And really, what does collaboration and collective impact look like? Several partners came together to make that happen. And these strategic investments will continue, and this CBA will only be the beginning, just the beginning of work. I want to deeply thank a few people to echo what Councilmember Peluso mentioned. The Mayor's Office, the Jaguars, for the deep work that they allowed us to do together over several months at the beginning phases of this negotiation. We spent countless hours in this building, countless hours at the Jaguar Stadium, countless hours in the community working with them, and they were great collaborators in this process. Again, special thanks to the special committee chaired by Councilmember Ayers. There's a lot of talk about politics not working. It was great to watch diplomacy work. Even with deep debate and disagreements, it was beautiful to watch diplomacy work when people disagree, but they still are professional and diplomatic. Thank you guys for really showcasing that, and hopefully the national stage is watching, and maybe we get some diplomacy tonight for the debate. maybe. And lastly, and most importantly, I want to thank the Eastside Coalition, some of the members that are here tonight. This community spent hours and hours together researching and working to present the best case forward for why we believe the Eastside is deserving of these investments. And so I'm optimistic. We hope to be celebrating tonight, and we look forward to seeing everyone for CBA 3.0 to continue the work.
We now want to bring up Suzanne Pickett. She's the CEO, or she's the Executive Director of Historic Eastside CDC.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I can contain my composure tonight, as I am extremely excited for what's happening right now. This is truly a momentous occasion for the East Side. I echo the sentiments of all the thank yous to the Mayor's Office, to the City Council, to our coalition. Thank you for thinking of the people first, the people that we serve, and showing the people that we really do care about them. This project for us means so much. It's after 6 decades of no investment into the Eastside neighborhood. Our goal is to use this as a model for all of our other neighborhoods who've been disinvested or marginalized in the neighborhoods in our community in Jacksonville. So again, I want to thank you, the mayor, the council, everyone. I especially want to thank our legacy Eastside residents and the people of Eastside that's come before us and stood strong and persevered to get us to this point and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you. And to talk about legacy residents, we have a phenomenal, she's younger than maybe some of the other residents out east, but Ariane Randolph, please come up.
Greetings, good afternoon. My name is Ariane Randolph. I am a 4th generation Eastsider, so I share my grandmother's address, and she purchased her home from the community's nurse and midwife during the Jim Crow era. So very thankful to be here, very thankful for the work that we've done, the Together Eastside Coalition, the Mayor's Office, the entire special committee. Everyone came together and thought critically. Everyone pushed each other to come up with the best solutions for the community, the historic Eastside community, which is also the best solutions, I think, for the city. So I'm very thankful for that. You know, the Eastside is a very special place. I mean, this is a special time in our city. This is a special time in our country. So we're just going to continue moving forward with that. Residents like myself have been working very hard to advocate for what's right, advocate for our children to come back and make Eastside home and make Jacksonville home. And so we want to continue on that. This is just another step in that. We also have been advocating for the best community benefits agreement for our city. And so again, just huge shout outs, huge gratitude to this committee for just really getting it done. You know, we had a seat at the table that was empowering. We also came together sharing our vision, sharing the vision for those legacy residents. And again, I'm a mother of 5, so just sharing the vision of our children. So this is a place that we can call home. We're gonna continue with that, and we're very thankful.
Thank you, Ariane. And let that also be something that's kind of pushed in this narrative. This is a deal for the Eastsiders in the Eastside. And we want folks to be able to stay in their homes and their neighborhoods and continue to flourish for years to come. That's all the speakers we have today, but if there are any questions, we'll be happy to answer.
What's at the top of the list now? What's all the money distributed?
So there's going to be another CBA committee. So the purpose of this CBA vote tonight is supposed to send this deal to the NFL. The NFL is going to ratify the entirety of the deal for the stadium as well as the CBA. So then the second part, or the next part, is going to be, hey, we've now dedicated a certain number of dollars over a certain number of years. Now we need to figure out what's the vehicle that's going to spend those monies, how is it going to get spent. We're going to make sure there's proper guardrails for that, and we're going to create either a new entity to do it, or maybe existing entities that are here now. So that's kind of the next step in this huge journey that we're undertaking. And again, the city's really never done anything like this before. So to get rookie council members and to get an entire neighborhood that's been here for hundreds of years together to kind of chart this path is huge. Any other questions?
Okay, can you just quickly break through? I know it's 40 million for the east side, 40 million for countywide, and then over the amount of years that it will be spent as well.
So right now, in this bill, starting in fiscal year 2025, we will have to spend those $40 million over the next 7 years with a minimum spend of $4 million, at a minimum. If the mayor's office and the city council wanted to, we can give all 40 million in year one, but in all likelihood, we'll probably do it in increments over the next couple of years, which is an upgrade a little bit from what we initially were expecting, which was the 26-27 year was when money was going to hit. As for the 40 million for the other portions of our city, the countywide stuff, that's going to be at a smaller increment. I think it's 2.5 million, a minimum of 2.5 million over the next 15 years. Again, these are minimums, and there's also a bit of a catch-all, an amendment filed by Councilmember Nick Howland to say, hey, if the economy is in a really tough spot, if we're not growing at the rate we're supposed to, there's a possibility that we have the option to not pay that year. We would have to pay the next year. And that's just kind of a safety measure that, a few folks are a little bit concerned about the future of the economy, and, so be it. We understood that. Again, we wanted a compromise bill. All that to say, I would be shocked if we didn't put, at a minimum, $4 million over the next couple of years in the east side, and I think it's going to be more, actually, in the first couple of years.
Jimmy, the original bill was 50 million countywide, 30 million east side, now it's 40 million countywide, 40 million east
That's right, David.
What do you say to people who are outside the east side? They're all paying for the stadium. They'd like to have their community benefit as well.
Yep.
And they said, it looks like it's disproportionately going to this one part of the city, and we're getting some, but it's going to be spread over the rest of the city over a longer period of time.
Well, I think there's a couple different perspectives that I personally have, and I'll let anyone else kind of jump in too. One is that we are creating this method because of the community benefits agreement. It doesn't mean that if we create a really good workforce development plan or a really good homelessness plan that we can't invest more money in the years to come. These dollars are being spent because we have a match by the Jaguars. But it doesn't mean that any program that's created out of this process we can't continue to invest in the years to come and kind of see as, oh wow, that's a great template or that's working really well. In terms of putting more money into the east side, listen, the reason we even have a community benefits agreement is because of the people behind it, is because of that community. To give them any less, to me, especially because it's upfront money, right? The Jaguars match won't start until after the stadium is built. So there's dollars that they're contributing, but it's going to be over a longer period of time and a little bit later. If you are a neighborhood that's right next to a major catalytic development, a lot of private development dollars, it could really harm that neighborhood. Gentrification is often the term that's used, right? Having more money up front that the East Siders get to spend on the east side allow for them to protect themselves from any massive new developments that are coming next door. And there will be. And they're very aware of that. The people out east are very familiar with what's going to happen to them. And keep in mind, there's also another stadium that's being built in their neighborhood too. So these dollars need to come in at a higher amount and much faster than the rest of the countywide dollars. It's in the best interest of the community. And again, if we find ourselves years from now with that community being harmed or in shambles, then we really didn't do our job. So we needed to make sure that we were really putting an emphasis on putting dollars out east, and that's what we did.
I'd also like to add one more thing. Let me add one more thing to a statement, is that, you mentioned 40 and 40, you're right about that, but there's also 14 district council members, each of which were getting $1 million, which is also a component to the community, the county-wide efforts. So you're looking at $54 million collectively for the county-wide efforts, not just the 40. And those initiatives we can use them towards parks, infrastructure, whatever we need. We made sure that with the language, initially it was described as only for parks, and you have to use it for one project. We were able to dismantle that language and say, well, we're going to use it for multiple projects and for more things other than just parks. Anything that we find needed in our community.
Are there any other questions? First for the press, sir, and then we'll jump to you real quick. Any other questions? All right, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm a homeless bed now for 17 years. Putting on the fund community. Why, if the black neighborhood got on a liquor store, PC, homeless, but you put it out there in the country, it's benefit. The landlord out reptile come over here. Your white boy that I gave us, put it good in the community. What you do something for the black neighborhood? We ain't got shit since slavery.
All right, well then, please reduce your language, sir. And by the way, this is a community benefits agreement that we're talking about. All right, thank you, sir. We appreciate what you have to say.